Bear with me, everyone. Let me do my usual, get it up on here so I can see you all. Wish YouTube made it easier to follow along. There we go. All messages. There we go. Oh, maybe not. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm in the right mess, people. Good evening, Mark. How we doing? How you doing, Chris? What we're all up to? As you can see, we've been stacking a load of our log burners. We've got tons of orders to get out. Loads and loads of people are ordering our log burner tea lights, the big ones and the small ones. So as you can see behind me, be stocking them up. I've got another pallet on the truck to put away, so everything's in a bit of a mess again. So I do apologise. How are we doing, Woody? You having a good time? What have you been up to this week? What have you been up to, Chris? What have you been up to, Mark? Great having you all here again. We've got 7 people on. How are we all doing? Oh, I've lost the chat. There's the chat's back. The chat's back. Don't worry, we've got it back. Oh, let me adjust this slightly as well so that way you can see. There we go. Don't know if you're able to see that. Maybe move it back a bit. What we all got planned for this week? What we all done there? Well, say this week. What you all got planned for next week? What we all done this week? As you can see, Black Bear Firewood, Jaff, he's looked after me, sent me some really nice Black Bear Firewood merch out. Lovely t-shirt, I really do appreciate him, as always. I'll do. Raining off and on all week. Chris, 30 cube. Well done, Chris. What machine do you use to get 30 cube? Having a beer. Spot on, my man. You deserve it. I deserve a beer, to be fair. Do you know what? You might put me onto a beer after this. Raining on and off all week. See, we've been really hot here. I mean, unreal hot. It's been an absolute nightmare to work in, but no, it's a blessing at the same time. So what you got to always remember is with your axes, whenever you have an axe, every now and again, light rub down. And I mean, like, you haven't got to do anything crazy, and then put a bit of axe wax on it, put a bit of beeswax oil, whatever you want to put on it, but it helps keep your handles good, strong. You don't want them flying back at your head. How many of you still use axes? Is it just, I know there's a few people who do, but anyone still use an axe now and again? See, we haven't had any wind either, Jeff. We had a bit of thunder and lightning with a literally quick splash of rain. Not Jeff, Woody boy. Sorry about that. I've been read the wrong thing, so I do apologise. But yeah, we haven't had much wind. 9 people on. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again this week. Let me know how your week's going. Let me know what you got planned for next week. I've got a lot of mobile processing to do. Got a trip down Firewood, picking up the second splitter 400. So picking that up literally Friday. So got a lot to get on with, and then I've got loads of bits and bobs to do. Bang wedges, yeah, banging wedges, axe are good. And I tell you what, there's a lot of people who are ashamed of felling trees and using a wedge. Wedgemanship is key, axemanship is key. If I see someone pull out of a wedge, I don't look down on it. I think it's great. I want people to use wedges, be extra safe. A lot of people take that precaution, but Yeah, there's a lot of people who look down on people who use wedges. Oh, you can't fell a tree, you can't do this. I don't care, it can be the smallest tree in the world. If you want to use a wedge, you use a wedge. You know? It's about the outcome, not the process. That's how I like it. How we doing, Motown? Northern Ireland. Brilliant. What are you up to down in Northern Ireland? Sunny as well. You got the best of both worlds. So I think we're due a bit of cloud next week. It's meant to get a bit cooler, 4 degrees. I think the top is about 11, 12 when I checked. It could change. The weather changes every day on the app. But it said it would be -1. When I saw that, and I'm studying like 25-degree heat, I said, there's no way it's going to be -1 in 4 days. And it kind of changed to 4 degrees, but that's still a cold morning. I love the cold. You can't beat the cold. You don't want to go hot. Coldness is the best. That's when the money comes in. That's when you can work the best. I hate rain. Rain's the worst for me. But, you know, when it's cold, it's absolutely beautiful. Another thing, if you use axes, let me know, because I've got a laser engraver cutter, right? And I'm thinking about putting like Lockbear's Lounge, some names on some axe handles or anything like that. So, you know, that might be a cool thing to do. If you want something writing on there yourself, you can. But axes are a forgotten tool of the trade, and I want to say forgotten, but in the UK, you don't find many people who still swing an axe. And even I've got like the Uniforest, I've got the Splitter 400, got another Splitter 400 coming, I've got machinery pouring out my ears, but I still swing an axe now and again. There's nothing, it's good for your heart, it's good for your body. You know, swinging an axe now and again is absolutely brilliant. And I don't get why not many people do it. To be fair, we're all guilty of taking the easy route sometimes. Oversize, that's good for, you know, what I mainly use mine for. Quick tip, if you're rubbing down your axe, you don't want to go any less than 120 grit. The reason being is, when you go down less than 120 grit and you like put a coat on it, when it's too slick, it'll give you more blisters in your hands. Too rough will, you know, probably do the same. So there's like a fine bit about 120, 140 grit. You know, 160 is just about all right, but 120 grit I've always found the best to stop you getting all them burns on your hand. Yeah, you liked it. To be fair, I'm going to be honest. The analytics from the video, the people who've watched it have watched it all the way through, but I'm getting less clicks and YouTube isn't pushing it as much as it has on my other videos. Okay, and it does that now and again. It's when it's like a niche, like the firewood industry is a niche market on YouTube, right? Mobile processing is an even niche market, so don't push it as much. But for everyone who's watched it, we've had really long view time, so I really appreciate your feedback, Motown. Yeah, it's quite interesting. A lot of people don't understand the stuff behind mobile processing, and the best way, as I said in the video, to always describe any work you do, it's got to be as good as what you do for yourself or better. Splitter 400 as well. You know, I don't know if you're coming to the opening day, but I know Northern Ireland's a bit far, but you know, the opening days are there at Firewood. Happy to see you down there. If you ever want a second look, if you ever come down across my way, you're more than welcome to come and have a look at some of what we do. Operate it for a day. Don't know if you have any round you, but the Splitter 400 is a great machine. Odd waste can make ugly logs out of it, depending on how knotty it is, but it still does the job. I think you do get a bit more waste as well, a bit more of a waste product, but again, the speed kind of counteracts the, you know, the sort of waste of it, if you get what I mean. The amount you can get done is unreal. There are things on the market, but I think it's best in class for price range. Obviously, you want the poshes and stuff like that. You're going up into a higher, you know, price bracket. And then when you come back down again, I think it's best in class in performance as well for the price range. So yeah, it's a great machine. And you know, if you do a lot of hard waste, it will do you well. The knotty stuff, it kind of makes chunks out of it like dust, but you still get some really good decent logs out of it. And not every piece of log you put through is going to be like crazy knotty. You gotta remember that as well. So just bear it in mind. I know loads of people who use it just for hard waste. We contract out just for hard waste. You get some ugly logs, you get some good logs. But at the end of the day, if you're selling hard waste as firewood, then your consumers, your customers will know exactly what your quality is like, and it will match that anyway. So got 6 people on now. It's a big thing that a lot of people don't do is maintain their kit. You always want to keep it maintained. 8 people back on. What else has everyone been up to? You got a busy week next week? You got anything interesting planned? Are you going to the ARB show? When's that? That's the 20... Is it the 19th? Can't remember. There's an ARB show coming up, and we've got the Firewood opening day where I'm going to be at. Yeah, 16 inch. See, we processed a load of 16 inch stuff, as I said in that video. I think 16 inch is great. What you find in the UK, which is quite strange, a customer's log burner can probably fit 16 or 12 inch in. You know, some of them, not all of them. Obviously, a lot of them are novelty things, but they can fit that sort of, you know, length in, but they still choose not to. And I don't know why they don't do it. It's beyond me. They still want the smallest logs possible. Not everyone, just some of them. Will be the biggest local supplier of the forestry, timber and log equipment. Have you ever had the time? I'd love to do a road trip, to be honest. There's so much I want to do and get on with. I'd love to come up and see every single one of you. That's like one of my goals, to see as many people as I can. You know, it won't all be done in 1 year, I think, but I want to swing an axe, split up a bit of wood, and run my saw with a hell of a lot of you. Try the best I can. To see, well, one day we might hold an event, see what we can do. But you know, it's a great community building, and I really enjoy these Saturday nights and seeing everyone, well, speaking to everyone, because you know, that's what it's all about for me. I'm not doing this for monetary gain. I'm not doing this for anything other than creating a community, you know, sharing my experiences, helping anyone grow, learning things myself. So that's my aim in this game. Is like, that's the sole reason I do it. Just, you know, spend time with you, learn a bit, teach a bit. You know, I think a lot of that's gone in the industry, and as soon as, you know, the old boys go, You know, a lot of stuff, you know, some of the newcomers ain't passing much around. And without them old boys, none of us would have learnt anything other than what we've taught ourselves. And it's quite a secretive industry, I think. Anyway, compared to, let's say, tradesmen. Tradesmen kind of like tell each other everything, especially over a pint. The International Firewood Expo wraps up today. I could not make it. No, obviously, I remember you mentioned it before. It'd be great to go. Really would. Would love to go to the Bunyan show. That's on my list. Got such a good list building, you know. It's one of them lists that never stop ending. But no, you're right, Mark. What's your thoughts, Joe, on the buying and repacking, selling logs as a barrier entry to start a firewood? You're going to get equipment. Now, again, I'd put yourself back into a two-way street, okay? Buying and reselling, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? You've got to work out how you're moving the bags, you've got to work out what you're doing, so you always need something to move the bags with. Repacking, you'll lose money in that, so I won't bother with repacking. If you're buying it in, sell it as you're getting it, that's a good way to start. The only thing with, you know, buying and reselling, there are a lot of businesses out there, and I don't like to point no fingers. I've heard names, I've seen names, you know, float around, and I've seen product as well, where your first couple of bags will look absolutely mint, and then you're halfway down, your bags are awful. I don't agree with importing timber. I think importing timber for firewood is wrong, and that's just my personal belief. I know they can do stuff with nets and make things cheaper than we ever can do. Don't get me wrong, I understand there's a market for everything, but you'll never ever catch me importing timber. However, wholesale to wholesale, I'd say to start with, I'm a wholesaler. I sell to newer businesses, I sell to fully grown businesses. The whole point is development, okay? So where I'd say to you is, I'd say, look at your budget. Let's say your budget will buy you 1,000 bags. Don't buy 1,000 bags, buy 500 bags. Buy a couple of artics and then hire someone in to do your mobile processing, okay? While they're doing the mobile processing, see if you could talk a deal. You might not be able to see if you can help them out, or you can work with them for them half a day, okay? Or that day. Just give them the helping hand while they're there. Now, the reason why you should do that is, one, you get the test of what machinery will be good for in your yard and how you operate and how you can load. Secondly, you'll also get the experience of what it's like to produce a good log in a fast environment. So splitting on a log splitter is one thing, right? And I want you to remember this, guys. Splitting on a log splitter, anyone can make a half decent log. Joe, trying to keep up a good quality while you're doing volume at high speed, that's a new technique. Don't let all the rubbish go through. Try, if you see something big, grab off the conveyor and try and get it back. You know, you've got all that to watch out for, where that's where the learning comes in. And I see a lot of people who had crystal clean firewood, you know, when they're on a log splitter with an axe, whatever, and they've got crystal clean firewood now, but in between, the firewood standards went up and down. You know, when you get a new machine, you're like, look how fast it can go, look how fast it can go. And realistically, are you producing a good product? And that's all I've got to say to that. So, Woody boy, my answer to your question in simple terms, yes, 100% you can do that. However, what I try and do and recommend to you, try and do a 50-50 of that, or 70-30. That will give you some experience you need as well. And it will start by getting you in the books this year. You know, a lot of suppliers don't want to sell you loads of timber because they don't know who you are. You haven't earned their respect, if you get what I mean. I know it sounds silly, but they might want to say the best stuff for the, you know, for the regular client. So, you know, buy a couple of loads this year, see what you can do in between, you know, selling your main stuff. Even if it's not ready this year, get your name out there. Even if it's just one load, you've got a contact. You've met the bloke. You might meet another bloke. Don't just buy from one person, buy from a few. You know, you might, you know, see different people. You might think, well, that guy was better to deal with. He turned up on time. That guy was cheaper, but he was late. And that guy, he was, you know, the dearest, and his timber was twister. You know, all about learning and experimenting before you know, rely completely on a firewood business, I would say. I hope that makes sense. And do you know when people use your axe for a hammer? Do never do that around me. No one ever hits the back of my axe, and no one ever uses it as a hammer. I hate it. It's alright if you're whacking a wedge in, yeah, but do you know when people are standing there bashing metal or use it as a sledgehammer? I hate it, okay? I'm an axe man, always have been. I'm a chainsaw bloke, always have been. You know, you can give me an axe and a chainsaw over any machinery you'll offer me anyway, and you know, 9 out of 10, they still come in handy. Yeah, but why would you say it's a bit late? So if you started now, let's say you brought an Arctic load now, would it? And you got a chainsaw and an axe out, right? What's too late to start? Oh, I really want to hear your thoughts on that. What makes you think it's too late to start? It will still be seasoned in time. You know, you got the entire hot summer. You know, this thing about, oh, it's a year seasoned. It doesn't matter the time period. Look at how dry the log is. Moisture test it, you know. Some logs do take a long time, but others don't, you know. But what makes you think it's too late? Have you got somewhere set up now? You're all ready to go? Forget machinery a second. Let's just look at why you think it's too late. And anyone else have any questions? Anyone else want to ask anything? Or tell me anything? Or what you've been up to? What you're going to be up to? On mobile processing a lot next year? So you can't get the yard, and they're hard to come by around there. Okay, that is a difficult situation. Then my follow-up answer to that question will be, where are you going to store all these bags of timber that's coming? If you're buying bags of timber, let's say by an article doing wholesale, where are they going? Okay. What do you mean, like, big enough to process? I don't process in a shed. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't process in a shed. I don't process in a unit. I process outdoors. And there's a reason for that. One, I could have built one, right? We could build somewhere, build a cover, build a tile. And I'll tell you what, you'll see what my yard, obviously none of you've seen how my yard set up yet. Obviously we're still sorted a few bits out, obviously, since we've, you know, moved more into the hard standing yard. But let's look at it realistically, okay? My stuff's not covered up. And the reason it's not covered up is because I go out mobile processing and not everyone's got a shelter. So, yeah, if it's wet, it's a pain in the backside. But do you know what? So is work, so is life, you know what I mean? So if you're going to work on it, you work on it. You don't need to be in a shed to process timber. And I get what you mean about storage. But would you be able to, you know, process some? You don't need a machine. Let's say you had a log splitter. Would you be able to have an Arctic drop to or something like that? CB Logs, good evening. How are you doing? I don't even know how old that is. I'm not even going to drink that. That's been sat there for ages. I know it's in a can and all, but I don't know, it might do. Can's looking a bit iffy, you know what I mean? Left me drinking there. Good to hear, CB Logs. You had a busy week. 11 people on. How are we all doing? Say hello, introduce yourselves. Let me know what your week's doing. Let me know what you got planned. Who's going to the Firewood Open Day? Who's going to the ARB show? I don't know if I'm going to the ARB show yet. I should be, but I am mobile processing on one of the days. Kind of double booked it by accident, so you know, I'll try and get done before then. And this is one thing I've also done. I didn't really say this in the video, right? There's been times where we're mobile processing, and I said, look, we're doing, I don't know, 5 days. And I've gone, well, I work 8 hours a day, okay? Because I work 8 hours a day, and in that 8 hours a day, I'll have a lunch break. I'll sacrifice my lunch break at the end of the last day. So let's say, I don't know, you have 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at lunchtime, and 20 minutes late morning. Because obviously you've got to give them time to clean up. You've got to clean up. So when I say a break, it means machine not operating. If I sacrifice that hour, that leaves me with 7 hours. Would you mind if I split that over the 4 days, the remaining day over the 4 days, and work a bit later each day, and I'll do the 8 hours for you? You know what I mean? So then you're kind of gaining an hour. And every time for 2 extra hours a day, they go, yeah. And it kind of frees up a day. Yeah, we've seen these photos and videos. Looks like a busy week. You know, you and Woody working hard. Archie, the remote control operator. No, AJ, Archie's a very, very, very hard worker. You all are down there. Will I be seeing you, Colin, at the field open day? Are you coming down? I think Archie is. I'm sure he is. Do you know what, guys? I was about to use this t-shirt, that Black Bear Firewood. You know, Jaff got me. Almost used it to clean my can. Can't do that on camera now, can I? I can't be an animal all the time. I'm absolutely gasping for a drink. Before I came on, I was doing a few bits. Somehow it's got a bit of oil on it though from somewhere, but hey, it won't kill you. Yes, indeed. I look forward to seeing you there, Colin. Really do. Yeah, happy days. What's everyone else doing then? Is anyone else who's been as busy as Archie and Colin? You've been chopping down some trees, you've been making some firewood. What else has everyone been doing? You can tell me you've been boring if you want to, you know what I mean? You know, if you've had a week at home because the bank holiday's coming up and you thought, let's stretch out them days off, you can tell. I won't judge. So as I was saying, everyone, I'm picking up my second Splitter 400 on Friday. Popping our fuel wood. See you in a bit, Mark. Have a good week. Don't work too hard. But, well, actually, no, keep working hard because that's money at the end of the year, isn't it, for you? Yeah, have a good week, Mark. Really appreciate you being here as always, bud. I appreciate your support on the videos, as always. But yes, I'm picking up my second Splitter 400 on Friday. It's actually, we didn't have to wait too long for this one, to be fair, compared to the other one. So, really, really looking forward to picking it up because our mobile processing is going through the roof. And I just want to make it clear to everyone while I'm on camera, and people who watch this back, okay? Just because you buy a machine doesn't mean you'll be successful in mobile processing. Just to put that out there. Obviously, I'm by no means a millionaire. I'm by no means well off. I'm just a hard working man. That's it. We're working men. We do our job, provide for our family, do whatever we can do to make life better. But that doesn't mean don't invest in yourself, okay? So I don't want everyone going out tomorrow thinking, you know, if I finance a Splitter 400 or if I finance a Uniforest, I'll be making X amount a day every day of the week. Honestly, when I say it doesn't work like that, I know a lot of you've got common sense and a lot of you, you know, think up there. But for the people who don't realise, you know, it's not as simple as that. You cannot just live solely starting up on mobile processing, okay? If you buy it outright, you know, you can give it a bit of time to build up. But if you're looking at taking out a finance agreement to do this, please be wary, because you know you got to incorporate your yard rents to store your machines in. And you can say, oh, I can store them here then. No, have your own place, have your own setup. If something goes wrong somewhere, you fall out with someone, you're stuck. So just make sure you know what you're doing there, you know. Have you ever thought about getting a Woodcutter 400 to go with the Splitter 400? Yes and no. I did think about it. It's not something I'm probably looking at. Maybe in the future. The thing is, and I do a lot of mobile processing, as the last video said, and I've said 1,000 times in this video. So I could leave it at the yard, but me, I like to maximise the amount of money that one machine generates. And as I said in the video, and there's two really helpful videos, excuse me, Excuse me. There's 2 really helpful videos that are coming out. Well, I think are going to be helpful. You know, feedback will always tell me otherwise. So what I'd say is the next video I'm doing is about how to improve your cash flow in the quieter months and give you a few tips and tricks there. And the other video is about, excuse me again, bloody hell, what's going on here? Oh, but yeah, so the other video is about finances and managing cash flow in a business as you grow and develop. Okay, my main message to everyone who's in this business, who are trying to, you know, better themselves, sort out, you know, their life in a way, like you're trying to make a nice life for yourself when you're putting your blood, sweat and tears into something. You know, you want to split firewood, you know, sell firewood, you might want to chop some trees down, you might want to, you know, pick up a trade, I don't know, but we don't just do, like, I do it for fun, but not like just for fun. It is a business at the end of the day, and as part of having that business, you need to make sure you're getting the maximum return off every machine. So if you're getting the maximum return off every machine, you know, that machine pays for itself so well, and you're making money off it. You're not just working to pay for a machine, that machine's paying you as well. So in terms of the Woodcutter 400, it's not very mobile. I think before I even get a Woodcutter 400, I get another mobile processor on the go, and maybe another Uniforest product. I am videoing a secret prototype of a new Uniforest. I think it's like a 4020. It's like got all these new features on. I am filming, and I'll be the first to film it, I think, in the UK. I'm not too sure about that. You don't quote me on that. And I will be operating, testing, and having a look under the hood. That's coming up very, very soon, so I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, so before I get a Woodcutter 400, I will definitely be looking maybe at another Uniforest, but that's no time soon, to be fair. That's not something I'm looking to do anytime soon, unless I become a millionaire overnight. As I said at the beginning, I'm not a millionaire, so make things pay for other things. Saves you paying for it yourself, you know what I mean? If I want to buy a car, which I'm not a car person, but if I want to buy a car or a machine, you have to find that thing to pay for that, okay? If you keep paying for it out of your own pocket every 2 seconds, you won't have anything in your own pocket other than assets on paper that, yeah, you can sell in the end. But if you could find some way, shape or form for that machine to pay for itself, then yeah, I've been toying with the idea for a long time about just hiring one of the Splitter 400s out without an operator to people that we trust, and we'll set up the insurances and stuff like that. It's something that's always on the table. I'm never going to say no to it. There's a bit of risk involved. You know, I know it's going to be insured, but you just don't want the stress and hassle sometimes. But, you know, that could be a way that you can pay for things, you know, hiring out kit. I don't think it will, Colin. As far as I'm aware, it could be. I'm not 100%. They've got it for 10 days. No, it won't be at the show. They've got it for 10 days for testing, inspecting, and feedback. So no, the new machine won't be there. I don't even know if I'm allowed to, when I'm allowed to upload the video. You know, I'm not 100% sure. I've just been invited down. They want me to walk through it, do a good video on it. You know, walk through it with them, inspect it. Because obviously, I used a Uniforest every day or of the week almost, you know what I mean, every day of the year, apart from any days that, you know, we're off, which like Christmas. I think sometimes, and my missus will vouch for this, sometimes I'm busy on my own birthday. I don't really do days off. The first time this year was a bank holiday, and I didn't even have the day off. I went and done a few bits for my dad, and even then I didn't have the day off. Just because the banks are on holiday don't mean I'm going to be on holiday, you know. So, yeah, I doubt it will be. But I'm looking forward to testing it, though. I'm looking forward to being, you know, early eyes on this new product that process that Uniforest are bringing out. I know it's an upgrade of the 4020 model. It's not like the bigger models or anything like that. It's an upgrade of the 4020 premium model. I think the messages went something like, "Hi Joe, how you doing?" Something like that. What else did he say? He said something else. He's like, "Would you like to come down and test the new prototype and do a video and do this and the other?" I went, "Come on, Jeremy, don't flirt with me. Of course I do, you know." Then we booked it and sorted it all out. They only had it for 10 days, and yeah, that was Thursday. So Thursday, Friday. I don't know if it's working days or not. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably Saturday they get rid of it. But no, that prototype Uniforce, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Yes. Yeah, I'm always actually following opinion. I'm really looking forward to doing a video on it, and hopefully I can upload it and show everyone my opinion. But I'm not sure what the rules are. They told me to film it. They told me to do a video. I just don't know if I can upload it straight away. I don't know what it is, yeah, with these prototypes. The first time, really, anyone said, "Do you want a behind the scenes look?" You know, so it's the first time for everything. Quite honoured, really. But no, I would love another processor sometime in the future. Have 2 out on the road. That means I could have 3 or 4 machines out at one time, mobile processing, which I haven't got enough clients for that anyway. But you know, there's a chap that I saw online on Facebook, and I don't know if he watches here or anything, but his log stack went up. All the cord timber in the stack when it went on fire. And if you do watch or you do see it, sorry to see that, mate. You know, a lot of people, I can tell you now, I've never seen big stacks of cordwood in the UK anyway go up on fire. I've not seen that. You know, someone could do it on purpose, could have been an accident, whatever. But you think, you know, cordwood in a pile, how much? I mean, that will go in good. Yeah, you know, you got to think how the flames were massive off it. It was good diameter stuff as well. So, you know, I've never seen that before. I feel sorry for the chap. But yeah, so if you watch or you've been watching, that is you. Sorry to see that, buddy. If you need out, you know where we are, but you look like you've got plenty of timber there, so I'm sure you'll do fine. Can't lie, people, this is disgusting. So, I know it's hard to tell. I've been on a diet for, you know, probably, I'm on week 7 or 8 now. And I was 16 stone 2. I'm now down to 13.7, I think. And it's like week 6, 7, I think. I'm sure I'm going to week 7 on Monday. Okay. And I've not really been having, like, I used to drink a Monster every morning. Now I'm on black coffee. I've been having steak every day, eggs every day. I feel strong. Salad every day. You know, just like all as one meal. And things like that, I used to drink all the time. And I used to eat a few bits as well. Do you want to eat it now and try it? Disgusting. I see it online. Down Cornwall and Devon area, I believe. Yeah, that's where I've seen it. You lightweight. Why do you have more of them a day? Oh, I've just had a couple of sweets that disgusting. Can't do it. My taste buds have changed now. That's it. I feel like a new man. You know what I mean? I feel like I could believe how heavy and big I got. Like, I can't remember what it was. I was doing something, and along the lines of me losing my temper, I think, like, just getting really frustrated with something, and I thought, blimey, let me check my blood pressure. So I checked my blood pressure the next day. Okay, and blood pressure was high. I thought, what's going on here? So like clockwork, I have this ability in my head. If I set my mind to something, I set my mind to something. Next day, cut everything out. Water, black coffee, you know, 400-500 grams of steak a day, 4 eggs a day, and a load of salad with it. You know, that's all I had. It was on a sort of intermittent fasting sort of thing. I used to do it quite a bit when I used to, you know, train for boxing and stuff like that. And all of a sudden, weight was just falling off me. And since I've not really had anything, when I say naughty, I haven't really had anything like that in a long while. And I don't look back, I don't crave anything either. You know, red meats, right, it's not good, very good to be on it mega long term, I don't think. Yeah, it's not. It's not craving, you know, I'm not craving chocolate, I'm not craving anything like that. And I didn't realise how big I was. I thought I was 15 stone. Once I took my blood pressure and I upped on the scale, I was 16.2. Like, crazy. Yeah, that's disgusting. Hey, it's not going to be a long one tonight. I appreciate that, Kel. Really do. But do you know what? In this industry, it's really easy. I didn't actually, when I said I didn't eat bad, we all ate a little bit of crap here and there. But do you know what? In this industry, because especially in the winter months, you work so hard that you don't eat all day, and all of a sudden you come home, and I was a bleeder for there. I'd have a shepherd's pie, I'd have a cottage pie, I'll have, you know, bolognese, and you'd have loads of it. That's the only thing you've eaten all day. You've worked hard all day, you're starving, you shovel it down you, and the next thing you know, you're KO'd and you're waking up to your alarm going off in the morning, start the deliveries and you're back out again. Lattes as well. Lattes are bad for you as well, really and truly. So what I'm saying is, sometimes it takes a bit of a wake-up call or a bit of a, you know, wow, to realise what you're doing. You know, piling up all that food at night. Yeah, I can't be the only one guilty of this. Someone in here must, you know, get home absolutely exhausted and just pile on some really good classic foods. Yeah, takeaways here and there, but being proper big portions of something. We all must do it. God, I can't be the only one, or am I a workaholic? I need to start like a, you know, almost like an alcohol awareness meeting, like, you know, fat people. I bet there's things like that out there. Sit there talking. I'm Joe, and I eat big meals at night. Anyway, enough with the food talk. Enough with the food talk. But yeah, it's not going to be a long one tonight. I thought I'd give it about an hour and a bit tonight. Got quite a bit to do tomorrow. We've got an Isuzu NKR grafter in our yard. And if anyone has an NKR grafter, they're the 3.5 ton models, train weight of 7 ton that you can have. And they look like the class 2, like the sort of articulated version. But the Isuzu NKR grafters are great vehicles. They're the 2008 models, 2009, you know, you get the facelift sort of models. And we are essentially, we have a few. My cousin has one, we have one in our yard. And we break some in between because they're dead hard to get the parts for. So we kind of recon them in the spare time if we have any spare time. It's not like a thing where we go out every day, but we do break Isuzu NKR grafters. The old 2008 models. They're great vehicles. So tomorrow I'm taking an engine out, taking a tipper body off. We'll list that to sell. Taking the axles off. We'll basically strip it down to a chassis and, you know, weighing the chassis essentially. Make room for the next one. So got a busy day tomorrow, and then Monday. See, look, I don't even know what days it is. Monday, I'm doing a few bits around the yard, and then I've got a few bits that my dad's to sort out. No one's in anyway. Everyone likes to have their bank holidays off. I don't get why, but people love bank holidays off. As I said before, banks are on holiday. I'm not. And yeah, for the rest of the week, I think I'm mobile processing other than Friday, where I pick up the Splitter 400. That's my week. Mobile processing. Who's still on? Who we got? Woody, you still there, Woody boy? Woody boy still here. Kids, family good? Everything all good still at home? I haven't had a chance to chat to you properly this week, so I do apologise, Woody. Been crazy busy this week. A job that I've been saying I would do for a long while, as well as filming, I also pulled out an old tractor. We have a Zeta that we pulled out, and it doesn't really have the best hydraulics on it, so we re-sorted out the hydraulics on one of the days. God, hydraulic fittings and hoses have gone up in price. Can't believe it, compared to obviously what they used to be. But no, got that sorted, got it all running, got it all working. Everything's running sweet as not. Started straight off the kit. We sat there for God knows how long. Yeah, I'm talking dead old. It's I think it's 1968 or 1970 Zeta 4751. I want to say, might be wrong, but started straight off the key. Oh, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. Appreciate it. I'm glad you appreciate it as well. We're all here to help each other. I think at some point I should create a WhatsApp group chat. I'll probably mute the notifications a little bit, though, but I think a good WhatsApp group chat for us all, I think that'd be great. Zetas are one of my favourites, right? And the reason is they were so simple to fix. They were designed to break in the middle of working. So if something went wrong on it, which very rarely they did, you could repair it in the field. You could literally separate the tractor so easy in a field, and there you go. You flip the base down, you hook it in line, and you reverse, it'll pull back. Obviously you have to undo your cab on top. It pulls back. You got your clutch in front of you. You have a flat tyre, don't worry, there's a compressor built in on board. Powerful machine. They just keep going and going and going. You wouldn't believe that old girl powered my Uniforest and kept it running. Did about 4 RTX with it, and she went strong. Could not believe it. You know, obviously the 4000 series was you know, the earlier series. They were good for towing and good for topping fields and other farm work, but running something like that. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it, Colin. I know exactly what you mean. It's like, how many other tractors could do that? Like, do you remember the Deutz engines? The old school ones where they're air cooled, right? They're not water cooled, they're air cooled. They were a clever engine. Obviously, the only thing with the Deutz engine, if anyone's thinking about powering a machine off an old tractor, there's a Deutz engine in it. Air cooled. You've got to every day or every other day make sure them air fins are clean with a compressor and maybe a bit of a brush, because they cook up if you don't. But they were clever, like having a jet engine on the front of your tractors. Now, as you can tell, I weren't born in 1968, 1970, 1972, but I've been around a lot of tractors, so a lot of machines. And I'm not a farmer, so fascinations. %100% correct. They are too electronic. They are clever though nowadays. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of electronics on new tractors. The old tractors, see, old motors as well. You could fix. I could fix my motor 9 out of 10 at the side of the road if I don't need like a major part, obviously. But there's a lot of ways you could bypass stuff and even get home. You know, if my clutch went, I could start my motor in gear 2, you know, or gear 4. You know, knock it out of gear, try and get it back in again. You can start in whatever you want to do and you'll still get home, right? It'll be a long trip if you're far away, but there are ways you can get around it. You do that on motors now, they pack up. They pack up at the side of the road and they wonder why there's so many breakdowns and why there's all traffic everywhere. It's all the new motors pack up all the time. And whoever brought the wet belt out, that guy or that group of people were just having a beer, absolutely leathered out their head and went, Yeah, let's bring back the wet belt. I'm sure everyone will love that. New motors are getting less than 100,000 miles, full service history, and they're breaking down. What is that about? One of my motors are near enough on 300,000 miles. 300,000 one of them's on it, almost. I get it on one something. 120, 130, something 140. Almost on 300,000. That's a good run. You don't get out of things nowadays. As I say every week, there's quite a bit of a delay between the camera up there live streaming and what I can see down here. So I'm still talking about getting leathered and wet belts. I don't get how people do this when they've got 100,000 people on a live stream, or 60,000 people, even 500 people on a live stream. I don't get how they do it. Do you remember the delay and how many comments come through at once? Like sometimes, you know, I'll get a block of 3 or 4 comments come through at once. And I can tell when people would, like Joe, it's hard to explain. You can tell when people were messaging on here, but they're coming out of sync. It could be my stream out of sync, but how people do it on 500 or 600 people, it's crazy. 9 people on. Hello everyone. About to wrap it up in about 10 minutes, I think. Have an hour on this time. Hope everyone's having a good week. Hope you got a lot planned for next week. As I said, I'm fetching the Splitter 400 next week, the second one. So, doing great work. There. Have a coffee down firewood. Get ready for the firewood open day. As I said earlier, testing out a prototype Uniforest and filming it. It's prototype. I'm doing that with firewood. Be great to check out. Give you all some feedback. What's everyone up to? If you're new here, don't be afraid to comment. I appreciate the messages at the end, but if we, you know, the group, loads of people in here are great. You know, people are coming out a bit more now. They speak to one another. You know, looking forward to seeing each other every week. Really appreciate everyone that's here. Tell us where you're from, what you're up to, what you got planned. You know, what you do. You might not even be a firewood supplier. I've had tree surgeons in here. I've had a landscaper in here. I've had a farmer in here. And the rest have been firewood, as far as I'm aware. Got a guy who sells kindling. Just kindling. There you go. Firewood open day. Cheers, babe. So, for all of you don't know, that's my missus down there. She's the one with the brains and the knowledge. She remembers when the days are. Tell me about it. I'd lose my own head. You know when you can't. It's weird, isn't it? You can't firewood all day. You're doing firewood all day, and you split in. It gets repetitive. You forget all the things that are not kind of standard. Yeah, 12-hour round trip. Head down there, 6 hours. You know, maybe stay in a B&B for the night. Go back next day. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, you think that's bad? You try flipping driving for 5 hours, filming all day and coming back. That's a killer, that is. I've seen a graft all day and come back. You know, I tell you what, filming does take it out of you. You have to remember a lot of stuff. remember what you're doing. Set up camera. It's crazy, but no, it is a far trek to be fair from Scotland. I'm sure there's some open days near you soon. Actually, I don't know if I will be there every day. I might be there Friday. I don't know. I'm 100% there Friday. I might be there Saturday. I can't remember if it was... Is it a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I can never remember. I'm usually won't be there on a Sunday. Saturday, I probably will. And Friday, I definitely will. Because a few of us are going out afterwards for a few drinks and a curry, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, the Thursday I won't be there. There you go. So the Thursday I won't be there. I'm working on a mobile processing job. But the Friday, Saturday, I will be there. Do I get help? I wish I got help. I really do. So I've got... four cameras, a drone, 2 microphone sets, tripods, and a load of other little bits and bobs. I don't use them all at one go. Some things I do. There's a lot of stuff I've filmed and I haven't uploaded yet, actually, believe it or not. Months old now. Some really good things that I've done, but sometimes you have to get permission and I have to wait for feedback. So once I've sent it off to the company I've been working with, sometimes it can take a month or two to, you know, get back to you, say, yeah, it's all right, yeah, go and upload it. But I've got some cracking footage, and yes, I edit it and do it all myself at the minute. Some are better than others. So what I find is, when I learn how to do something and I do something well, things like iPhones, okay, I'll sometimes put it on my iPhone. I'll forget to set the same settings as I set on one of my cameras that I'll use all the day for filming. But do a hell of a lot of filming, a hell of a lot of editing. Shania can back me on this one. Sometimes I'll come home after a long, hard day's work and I won't come out of the office till 1 in the morning editing a video. The pain in the backside though, and Archie, you know, has the same issues. Do you know when you edit a video and you want to upload to YouTube, it can take 4 or 5 hours to upload. It's ridiculous, right? So once it's uploaded, if there's an error, you got to redo it again. If there's not an error, you're all good. And if there's a copyright thing, you've got to edit your video and re-put it on. But usually there's not. I don't really get anything like that. Yeah, it's a long process. So if you think you got the time filming, right, and that could take a day, a couple of hours, if it's a small thing, an hour. And then you got to get it all off a memory card onto your computer. So that could take an hour, half an hour. And then you got to edit it, which could take anywhere from, I've never had it take an hour. I wish I did. An hour all the way up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours, maybe more. So, you know, depending, I don't really keep track. And then you got to export it from the software you're using, which Adobe, if anyone's ever used Adobe Premiere Pro, which is one of the better ones, that could take an hour, 2 hours, whatever. And then from there, you got 4 hours to upload it to YouTube, 5 hours. Crazy, that is. They like to make you work for it, put it that way. Correctamundo. Do what I need to do, not what I want to do. That's the best way to say it. Do what I need to do, not what I want to do. Right, I think that's the hour mark. I'm going to call it a night tonight, everyone. I will be live next weekend. I will do a longer live next weekend. I've just had a bit of a busy week. So I've got a busy week coming up. So once again, I appreciate every single one of you being here. I am going to start doing the lives at the yard as well. That's something I'm doing. I've just got to set up the internet down there because I had a few tests. So on YouTube, you can test doing a private stream that's unlisted. And basically I test it and the signal's not good enough to do a stream from the yard. So I will be doing a stream from the yard eventually. I'm setting up some internet down there and probably give you all a tour around the yard and stuff like that. Appreciate you, Cole. Have a good evening to yourself too, and I can't wait to see you either next weekend on the live or at the opening day. I'm really looking to see you again, my friend. Great bloke, great hard worker, Colin is. He's great on the saw, great on the machines, good man. Woody boy, as always, speak to you later. Keep an eye out for that parcel, Woody. I will check up on it on Tuesday, and I'm back in. I can look at the tracking. It's with UPS, so they might deliver over the bank holiday, I don't know. And to everyone else, thank you very much for being here. Really do appreciate you. Got some 2 good videos coming out. One next week, one week after. I might do 2 next week, I don't know. Some really good videos. One about running the firewood business and handling the finances side, and some of the things I wish I knew before I started and things I've learned. And then the other one, which is probably going to come first actually, is what to do in the off season to generate that extra bit of income, extra bit of money, tips, tricks, everything involved, to bring that income in to keep you afloat essentially to the season of selling. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all as always.